It's the Revved Up Sports Show with Bobby Chaffee.
We do have this nice little format that we try to follow every week. We don't usually follow it.
And Rodney Rodriguez.
Entertainment. Tell me something. I need to know something other than what I'm seeing.
Y'all ready? Here we go. Here's Bobby and Rodney.
Yeah, we are off and going on a Monday. Welcome to hashtag Real Race Talk. Showtime. Bobby Chaffee, Rodney Rodriguez. Thank you all for being a part of this. Looking forward to a great show, Bobby. We are talking 105 Speedway. We're talking Jonathan Langham, and then Barry Braun. What a lineup right there. That's what it's all about right there.
The most diverse lineup in Monday evening race talk.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we just bring the best. I mean, that's what we've always done, and it's what's expected. It's what's expected.
We have high expectations for ourselves and the show.
Yeah, you got that right. Before we dive in, I do want to, the whole thing with Coy Gibbs. I went back, Bobby, and I listened to our Saturday show, and I know that I've been very critical about Ty Gibbs and everything right there, and his family and everything, and I feel like a total piece of shit for the things that I was saying there. I don't know. That's a hard thing. That's a very hard thing what that family's going through right now.
Well, it's a pretty hard thing that they're going through, but I think that everybody got caught up in the same thing. Mm-hmm. I think where you and I decided that we changed the tune on it was when NASCAR teams don't just randomly say somebody's out for a family emergency, right? You knew something crazy was up, and then when you start getting texts from insiders and stuff like that, the friends that are in the know, they're like, dude, this is legit bad shit. That's going down without actually saying anything, without actually, because obviously some people were in the know way sooner than we were, but I think definitely, that was part of the difference for us. And obviously I think it's just because we've been doing this long enough to where we know not to always jump to conclusions on that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. Very, very much a hard deal there. So obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with the Gibbs and just all of that. And maybe this is something that, we've talked about, Ty maturing. I mean, that's a hell of a way for that to happen. Well,
it definitely changes the fan base opinion of him for sure.
Yes. And I think that's where a lot of people are stepping back what they were thinking about that, because, it's tough for Coach Gibbs. I mean, and I was thinking about that yesterday because, we talk about the Von Erichs and all that stuff all the time with the wrestling and different things. It's the Gibbs family. I mean, here we go again. I mean, this is something else that is, and you got to feel for Kyle Busch. I mean, the last ride in the 18, that was going to be a very emotional day, but for all those folks, I mean, that really sucks. I mean, that's tough.
It really is. I mean, it's one of those things where obviously it came very unexpected. I thought that Marty Snyder, I think, did a really good, exceptional job. I don't know if you get a chance to watch the post race there on Peacock or not. When everything was over, I flipped over just because I wanted to listen to a few more championship interviews with Roger Penske and some of the other high ranking officials and stuff over with NASCAR and Team Penske. And then they were, Kyle Petty and them kind of had Snyder had kind of played it off how close that he was with the whole Gibbs bunch over there. And so Kyle Petty kind of asked him, and he, had some tears to his eyes talking about how close he was with Coy Gibbs. So that, I think that's the unfortunate legacy that both the Gibbs boys have left, is that they both died at 49 unexpectedly. Well, I guess maybe JD's probably wasn't as unexpected as this one, but definitely. I mean, you never know. Just that you see the hours before, just sitting there celebrating the Xfinity Championship with Ty. So that's I guess the next day is never given.
Yeah, just never woke up. I mean, that's a tough thing right there. So obviously, thoughts and prayers to the Gibbs family and all the NASCAR family. I mean, that's a hard thing right there. I do want to give some love to I-37 Speedway because I know that Friday night kind of drug on a little bit. Friday was horrible because I was doing high school football and we drug out and it was like, oh my God, finally I got home and that was done. But to me, I know we had Ray Doyon on here last week, and I-37 hit themselves a home run this weekend because the stands were packed. I mean, they had plenty of cars, plenty of trucks, everybody in the pits. I mean, that right there, that was the race that I-37 needed to kind of put them right in place with everyone.
It's the race they needed to end the season on a really good note, really.
Yep.
Obviously, they needed a couple of races like that. Everybody needs a couple of races like that in the mid part of the season where you have full stands and full pits and a really good, entertaining show. But definitely a hell of a way to cap off a really good season. Another very good showing by the great late model series that's coming. So they definitely have some really good positive momentum there towards the end of the season. So
yeah, and a very good thing. I mean, that was a very impressive part of that was with the late models. I mean, it was a great night, great 2 nights for them. I mean, and going back at it, Jared wins the trucks on Friday. That is our Revved Up Sports Show Driver of the Year, Memphis Virial, as we say it in the factory stocks. Marcus Miklacek in the limited modifieds, and then Dean Abbey. I mean, what do you say about Dean Abbey? I mean, when you get the Abbey showing up and the race that Dean put on, in that late model, I mean, what a great drive. What a great drive. In a very packed stack of late models.
Pretty good stack field, yeah, from all over. I mean, a couple of them boys from Louisiana come down and trying to make the race and all of that too. So.
And then Saturday, I mean, Shane Hebert wins, in the late models. I mean that's a Louisiana guy. I mean, he wins. Saturday, Stevie Whitaker, Brandon Spreen, Johnny Torres. I mean, the factory stocks. I mean, it was fun to see all of that. To see those guys go at it. And here's the other part. And here's the curse of the Revved Up Sports Show. J.J. Jennings on this show last Monday night wins again.
Well, how's that a curse?
It's a curse of being a winner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
That's good. I thought it was going to be negative there for him. I'm like,
no,
wait a minute.
No. It's a positive curse. You come on this show and you're going to win. And JJ does it again.
Who else wants to come on now?
Yeah. I mean,
you come on here, you have a fairly accessible event too. That's why 105 is coming on.
It's going to be all blown up. People wanting to be a part of this with that. And coming up next, you've got the Clash. I think that's going to be the next biggest event that we'll have coming up in the state of Texas as we start nailing this thing down. And I think the Clash. The Clash has always been really good, but I think this year the Clash is going to be exceptional, my friend. Exceptional. You're going to be on the mic for that one.
I'll be there. Loud, proud, and in charge a little bit on that deal. I think it's important. I think this is one of the most important clashes they've ever had down there. I think this is the 3rd year they've had it. With some of the attendance being off, both in the pits and in the grandstands. I think that it's a home run that the racetrack needs. Same thing as I-37 is a big way to try to get a win when you get ready to go to the off season, right? Some of these end of season races, they can be deal breakers and deal makers in terms of some of the stuff that can happen for the following year. So a lot of stuff positive. I think with the turnout that I-37 had with their factory stocks, I'm almost anticipating at least that many for Owens deal, if not more than that. Or when Owens deal meaning the Edna Clash. I think we'll see probably 35, 40. I wouldn't even be surprised if we sniff close to 50 factory stocks at that race.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that the late model deal is going to follow suit. I think that's going to be a big thing. I mean, there's money involved right there. All of that, with the All-Star Crate Late Model Series that Owens put together. And the fact with him doing that, I think late models are so imperative right now because it really is. I mean, we talk about it all the time on the show to where it's like the factory stock thing. And, we worry about limited modifieds and IMCA modifieds and all that, and the modified count, everything being down. But to see that amount of late models, I think that people are going to be chasing this thing. They want to win the series. And with the names that we saw at 37, you got the big hitters showing up.
Yeah, and it was surprising some of the guys that showed up come all over the state. Mm-hmm. I think there'll be just that many, if not more, showing up for the Clash, and be probably twice that many showing up. They'll be coming from all over when they get ready to go to the showdown or the Western. What is that race called? The big showdown there at the end of the.
I don't
Corpus?
know. All I saw was that shirt.
Oh.
And that model. Anyway, I'm sorry.
With the cutoff jeans and everything.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Got models in the studio tonight.
That's right.
No interns, but models in here tonight. So
that's what we do around here. And by the way, I'm rocking the Astros shirt. Congratulations to the Houston Astros. How about that? I know that a lot of people didn't go to work today in Houston. I know a lot of people
didn't go to work in Houston.
Yeah, schools were off. I mean, it's like, all right, let's celebrate. Not contested. Not that 2017 was contested at that time. It was all after the fact.
Well, I mean, it's only a few of those players left, so
ain't no question this year. Ain't no question this year. World champions.
The problem is they're still gonna get called cheaters. That's what sucks.
No, not this year. I mean, if you call them cheaters this year, you're stupid. That's all I got to say. Bottom line. Champions. Again. Twice.
What about Dusty Baker? He come back, or is he one and done?
Shit. He said he's coming back. He is ready. He is ready to go. It was a great day for Houston, and I'll tell you what. I mean, I was actually talking. I did in wheel time on Saturday morning with our man Don Armstrong and Mike Mars and all those guys, and I was telling them. I said, so here we go. Everything. Houston is officially back because number one, Houston is going to win the World Series on Saturday, which I called. And then you're going to have the huge event coming up at 105, which we're about to talk about with Troy Smith. And then we got the asphalt. I mean,
you can't go wrong there.
Houston is back.
The Texans are still at the bottom, so everything's like it should be there in Houston.
Well, that's a whole different story. That's your quarterback getting massages, buddy.
He'd been gone for a year. He decided he pouted and wanted to sit on the pine without playing, so he'd been gone for a year in my mind. So
yeah, well, yeah. Other thing I do want to mention:
who's the number one draft pick this year coming out?
Houston.
Yeah, I mean, Houston's going to get it, but what player are they going after?
Bijan Robinson. Go get a running back.
Well, they got enough draft picks. They could actually probably get a running back.
They probably
could.
They probably could. You got a quarterback, Davis Mills. You got a quarterback. Go get Jimmy G.
No, they need to get somebody.
Well,
they need to get a supporting cast center with people have actually heard.
Yeah.
Might help sell some tickets on Sunday.
Well, that'll help. Hey, before we get to 105, Jared Fryer, our man, wins at Caraway Speedway. We crowned the champions in the Cars Tour, and all of that is said and done. And how about Jared?
What a way to a little controversy there, but
doesn't matter.
But I mean, I think for the most part, everybody's pleased when Jared wins. So,
we are here.
It wasn't a lot of controversy. Just a little question. Depends on which side of the pit box you're on that side. If you're on his side, there wasn't anything wrong. It was a racing deal. If you're on the other side, not so much. Kind of like the dipstring Ross Chastain and Chase Elliott yesterday.
Yeah. Racing deal. And I still go back to with the late model stock car series and with the Cars Tour. I mean, that right there, that as long as they don't mess it up, that is some damn good racing right there. I love watching that. That series.
I don't think they're on pace to mess it up a whole lot.
Well,
they did sell it.
Not with that group.
But I never saw the official word that they bought it.
Yeah, no. I have not heard that.
Like we saw the one tweet that was like, "Oh shit, okay," and then you got it, and it said, "Huh, that's odd. Maybe they didn't officially buy it yet."
Yeah, I don't know, but to me, that's good stock car racing right there. That's good late model stock car racing to watch those guys get out there and just race,
especially North Wilkesboro. That race was better than the super late model race.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hopefully that's going to be something that continues. I mean, because we need that. We need that on pavement.
Yeah, definitely. We need any kind of successful pavement show we can get. Although we love our dirt shows too, especially around here.
That's right. And speaking of that, we got a big one coming up in Cleveland, not Ohio, Texas. Good friends of ours as they check back in on the Revved Up Sports Show hotline. Man, the Texas Grand is coming up, and this is going to be a great weekend coming up in the Houston area. Joey Smith checking in. How we doing, sir? You guys ready to rock and roll at 105?
Good. Appreciate you guys having me, and we are getting real close to ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, talk about this, man. I mean, it's got to be a lot of preparation going into this because you got lots of classes, you got lots of cars, and most importantly, lots of money on the line for your drivers out there.
Yes, sir. This thing, since David Solwester started back in '98, it's continued to grow, and we made a deal with him to secure it and keep it going back in 2020, and every time we've done it so far, it's a learning curve, and now I don't feel like you can start early enough on the preparation. All the small details that guys that have done this for years just kind of breeze through. We're still learning every time. So, you think you start early enough, and it's down to the last minute to get all the I's dotted and T's crossed.
That's right.
Especially like you said, when you start bringing in this many classes, and there's a lot of big shows around, but we pay pretty solid purses to a lot of classes, so that really changes the dynamics.
That's right.
So Joey, it does. In terms of the preparation, I mean, what's been the most surprising portion? Is it just pulling together this huge $77,000 purse, or is it just making sure that the bathrooms are going to be cleaned and running, flushing right? I mean, what's been the biggest surprise for you guys as you get ready for this big old race?
Well, traditionally, since we started, promoting races, we've tried to give everyone a constant feel of improvement around the facility, and we try to end the year with something strong. Like right now, we've got an air conditioned VIP area that's nearing completion. We're trying real hard to have that ready to go. Like you said, it's all the little things, because you're going to have probably over a few days to normally see weekly racing. So got to be sure the bathrooms can support it. You got to make sure that the kitchen stand's ready to go, and you're not going to run out of hot dogs and things like that. Really at the end of the day, as long as you don't look at it or say it out loud too much, the 78,000 is kind of the easy part.
Yeah, no doubt. And Joey, talk about this. I mean, I know the asphalt track is going to be racing this weekend as well, but I mean, for you guys, the momentum right now, I think that obviously in Houston, you got the Astros, big deal right now. The Texans, I think folks just don't realize in the Houston area that you have something really cool like 105 sitting in Cleveland that can be a major attraction for sports fans.
Yeah, as far as the Texans go, everybody's got to have a foundation. Somebody's going to be at the bottom, right? But, as far as it goes, we've really tried to do a lot more, intermission entertainment and things like that to bring fans out that, they're within 15 minutes of us and never knew the track was here.
Right.
So, we've really grown our spectator head count this year and hope to continue that. And, that's one of the things that we're working on right now. We teamed up with Firearms out of Tomball, and I think we've got probably the coolest dirt track trophy around that'll be out for our guys on Saturday like this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw our post earlier on Facebook, but we're actually giving custom built, right at $4,000 a piece, AR-15s with the Texas flag theme to our winners.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's a big deal.
That is a pretty big deal. All joking aside about the food and the hot dogs and stuff, what the atmosphere coming into the big race, and we were talking about some of the fellow tracks here. To when you get to the end of the year, you got the deal makers and the deal breaker races, and it seems like the Texas Grand's always one of those deal maker events that really sets up. It closes a really positive 2022 for you guys, and it looks like it's going to got the potential to open up the door to a really positive 2023 coming up for you guys as well too.
Yeah, that's definitely our goal. The Texas Grand traditionally, early on it grew from a simple race when nobody paid $1,000, and David kind of got that going, and it became more of an event and a get-together where people looked at it from a bigger viewpoint than just going to a race. And a lot of times you'll have guys that rub door to door for a win, and you see them on the tech pad. It's high fives and congratulations. And a lot of times in racing, that's not all there. It gets pretty heated, but with the Grand, we try to keep positive atmosphere and let the guys, a lot of them around here, kind of in their season with us. So we want to have them silent to be ready to kick it off next year.
Yeah, that's right. And Joey, I mean, let's talk about this with you guys. I mean, because so many tracks, it's like they run every other week, once a month or whatever. But you guys, I think it's kind of a hidden thing right there with you guys at 105. Yeah, you guys run all the time. I mean, it's every week throughout the regular season. You guys are running. You have a great contingent of folks that come out there, and they support you each and every week with every class. I mean, talk about that. I mean, you got guys like Howard Willis that come out and race. I mean, that right there, that's the Houston racing legacy, in my opinion.
Absolutely. We've got the guys like Howard who have raced longer than I've been alive, all the way down to the the new guys that they're just getting their feet wet. And we've been averaging over the season over 95 cars a night, and with a few hours, we're getting everybody home in the 11 o'clock hour. So I think between just trying to run a quick, efficient show and trying to push that good atmosphere, we've had our hiccups, but we've addressed them as they came, and I think people respect that. And as long as they can see a move in the right direction, and they don't mind getting behind something and supporting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joey, that totally is the thing. I think when people, it takes both the race fans and the racers to buy into the overall goal of a program. We've seen it happen time and time again all over the country, where when you get the racers behind you, obviously having the support of Howard Willis is huge because it's Howard Willis and he's the man. But having his effect on the racetrack and his opinions make a big deal with it. But talk about the relationship with the drivers. I mean, obviously you guys get a little bit of self promotion. With the track can only do so much, right? But it seems like some of these we call, even though they're big shows with a lot of money on the line, we still call them the grassroots show because it's the drivers are helping themselves. They're promoting it on their Facebook page. These are the ones where they're the friends that may be coming out that don't come out to a lot of races. This is the one they're elbowing their buddies, say, hey, put down the football for a minute, come out and enjoy some racing. This is like one of those events that you got to have that to make it even bigger and better.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of our drivers that they actually kick in money. They've got either, self-employed, have their own businesses, or, some of them will just take money from their race team and buy a banner or, a title sponsorship to help support the show. And that's a double-edged sword. Sometimes, you can catch some flack because, you've got a racer banner flying as a sponsor, but you can definitely talk to any of them. And one of the things that is good for us that everyone across the because and if they're not going home, it's might not be fair, but the appreciation is there, and it definitely makes all this. They're willing to invest in the program. Sometimes can't throw.
Yep. Kind of losing him there just a little bit, Joey. That's all our good phone system.
Oh, did we?
There we go.
Oh, now you're there, loud and clear.
Got him back.
The joy of living in the country.
I tell you, man. I tell you, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, that really is a good thing. So, I think we caught the most of that. But man, what I do want to ask you about, I mean, talk about the weekend. Talk about the money involved. Talk about all the classes and where folks can figure out how to be a part of this, because I think 105 is about to hit a big ass home run this weekend.
Oh man, I hope you're right. So we've got a little over 56,000 in cash.
Damn.
And then with our F1 supplied trophies, that puts us about 78,000 cash and prizes for the weekend.
Damn.
And we've got street stocks, pure stocks, factory stocks, limited modifieds, and mod lights that'll run Friday and Saturday.
Love it.
With qualifying Friday, features Saturday. And then we've got our EMSA turf mini sprints that'll run a full show on Friday night. And then we're going to finish the weekend off with crate late models on Saturday. So be a full show for the crate late Saturday.
Nice.
That's a hell of a show.
Yeah, we've been really lucky with our big tire classes. You know, when we've had the big block modifieds and stuff over, my partner Jesse's done a really good job on the racetrack, and we get real wide and racy. So, you know, 3 wide is not an issue, especially when you have somebody with a big late model tire to help blow everything off.
Yeah, man.
So, Joey, one last couple of questions before we let you go. Talk about your relationship with Race on Texas. I know some of us won't get a chance to actually make it down that far over to Cleveland to 105, but it's definitely going to be one of them races I'll be watching on Race on Texas. Talk about the relationship with Race on Texas from a promoter, about how is it. Obviously, it's one of the most of the promoters we talk to, it's beneficial to the program to be part of the family of racetracks there. But what's been an experience like for you working with our friends over at Race on Texas?
Chris and the guys over there are great. You know, they've supported us all year long. They supported us last year. You know, as a new promoter, there's that uncertainty of, you know, am I going to cheat myself out of spectators by allowing them to watch it in the comfort of their home? But I mean, quickly we realized, and they're a great team that's willing to share, you know, in both the risk and reward. And, you know, we've been very fortunate to work with those guys. And I mean, even from a promoter standpoint, being able to watch good quality video during the week to see, you know, whether it was something we did bad where there's room for improvement, or, you know, even to just see a highlight, you know, that's really valuable. And, you know, it showed really quick that all it does is expand the reach. It doesn't hurt, you know, the gate count. And, you know, all in all, it's a good thing for motorsports. What they bring is, you know, is more visibility. And, you know, at the end of the day, you can't replace the feel or the smells that happen at the track.
That's right.
So people are still going to show up, but it's a good thing to have that option for the folks that can't make it.
That's right. And Joey, how big is this? Because the whole thing is, I mean, talking about all the different, you know, the big classes, whatever it is. But you guys, I mean, this purse is stacked for all the regular drivers. I mean, they're going to show up and they're going to show up and show out. I mean, that's got to be a cool thing for you guys. You're going to bring the house, and I think you're going to have a fantastic show.
Yeah, I think, you know, our local guys, you know, our pure stocks always put on a good show. You know, those guys,
love that.
You know, for a weekly purse, they will run everything they've got. So, you know, you start tripling the purse. Same with our turf sprint cars. I think it's about triple the purse they normally run for. So those guys will get out there and leave it all on the racetrack for sure.
Yep, no doubt. Lastly, my man, where do folks go to find out more information? I mean, tell them where to go to show up to 105 to be a part of this fantastic weekend coming up.
So you can get all the updates on our Facebook page, 105 Speedway, or on our website, 105speedwayracing.com. Facebook's definitely the most up-to-date and easiest.
Mm-hmm. Yep, good stuff, my friend. Looking forward to it, dude. Weather's going to be good. Weather is great.
Yeah, weather could be good this weekend.
Yeah.
It owes us that after what it did to us for Halloween.
Yeah. No doubt, man. Looking forward to this weekend, man. Go get it. Have a great weekend, dude. Looking forward to doing this more often.
Excellent. Thank you for the time and the opportunity to talk with you guys. And if you're not tied up and busy, come on down and see us and hang out with us. It's going to be a good show.
Right on. Sounds like a good time, buddy. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Take care. There he is, Joey Smith. I think 105 is about to hit a freaking home run.
Well, and here's an even better update of the purse in terms of, because it was a little small on the graphic, but I think it's the one I sent you the other day. The street stocks at 105 are $2,000 to win, $150 to start from 9th to 20th.
Wait, what?
Street stocks, $2K to win, $150 to start for the top 20. Top 20 for the main. Factory stocks running at $3K to win, $1,500 for second, $1,200 for third, and $1,000 for fourth. $800 for a top 5 out of that deal. Pays $200 to start, 9th to 20th. The crate late models, $2,000 to win, $1,000 for second, $800 for third. Pays $200 to start, 9th to 20th. Mod lights are $1,500 to win, $1,000 for second, $800 for third, $200 to start. That's a really good purse with mod lights throughout the purse. Limited mods, $3K to win, $1,500 for second, $1,200 for third, $1,000 for fourth, and $800 for fifth. Pays $200, 9th to 20th. EMSAs, $1,000 to win, $150 to start. And your pure stocks, this would be pretty interesting for you. $1,500 to win, $1,000 for second, $800 for third, $600 for fourth, $400 for fifth, and it pays $200 to start, 9th through 20th.
Damn. That is a good night of racing.
Damn good purse for all those classes.
That is really good. And I think, for them, I mean, the only thing that I think about is that you got them and the pavement track going head to head. And I mean, I know that's, it happens. It just happens. But damn, that right there, that is a night. That is a night of racing.
Well, and the problem is that both, and I say problem, not so much a problem as it is an air quote kind of problem, is that it's hard to determine which race to go to because both classes have super duper payouts for the racers. I mean, I think EcoStocks in Houston, a record breaking winner's purse of what?
$1,250,
$1,300 to win, something like that by now. So that's that's a lot of money for an EcoStock. I think trucks are up to $4,000, maybe $5,000 to win by now. Don't quote me on that, but lots of money to win, putting in a lot of purse money on both racetracks. So that's, unfortunately for a race fan in Houston, whether you like dirt or asphalt and just a general race fan, that's a tough ticket.
Yeah. You got to make a choice. The good thing is they're both on Race on Texas.
That's right.
That's a good thing.
You can sit at one and watch the other.
That's right. That's right. If you don't want to go to either one, stay home and check it out. Stick around. Coming up, Jonathan Langham.
Oh, no. Trouble coming.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Should have had him on for Halloween.
No. Hashtag real race talk from Texas. Bobby, Rodney, we're back in a minute.
Have you heard about the latest and greatest technology being built around the DFW area? Generation Race Cars and JL Racing, located in Springtown, Texas, are now offering top-of-the-line, state-of-the-art Southern Sport mods and limited modifieds. Generation Race Cars and JL Racing can provide new cars, turnkey, complete bodies, shock revalving, and chassis updates, along with providing trackside setup guidance and a whole lot more. If you're looking at competing at a whole new level, call 817-528-2947 and ask for Justin today. You can contact them through the JL Racing Facebook page to learn more about Generation Race Cars. You put a ton of effort into your race program. Now take it to victory lane with GRC.
Hey everybody, Rodney Rodriguez for CRS Suspension. Are you ready to take your racing program into victory lane? Well, if you are, then it's time to call CRS Suspension, the industry leader in handling technology. CRS now solely owned by winning iStock and late model racer Jeffrey Abbey, whose knowledge can do big things for your oval track success. Give CRS Suspension and Fabrication a call today at 325-330-0647 and learn how you can get the shocks and technical guidance that will put you into the winner's circle. You either have CRS shocks under your car or you get outrun by those who do. Choose to win and call CRS Suspension today and follow them on Facebook at CRS Suspension Fabrication.
Hi, this is Tom McKay with Audiovisual Consultations. Scientific data proves it. Size does matter. The bigger and wider your television is, the better. Football season is here, and the time is now to get your entire audio-video experience tuned up and ready. New flat screens, projection video, Dolby True HD surround, all the goodies at great prices and followed up with great service. So call us at 255-8678. That's 255-8678 or on the web at avconsultations.com.
Revved Up ATX, Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon on the Horn. Rodney Rodriguez and Bobby Chaffee break down the world of racing, including pit stop news and notes and places for races. Revved Up ATX, Saturdays at 11 on the Horn, where Austin talks racing.
Speedway, big one coming up, Texas Grand. Huge.
It'd be a hell of a show.
Yeah, it is. A lot of money on the line for those guys.
A lot of money. It'd be a hell of a show. I kind of wish I didn't have pre-planned weekend to be there, but definitely, that's definitely one of those. That's not one of those racetracks. We need to get a road show going. Wish we had more time and didn't have so much commitments that we do. We could go on a road show and
I'll tell you
go to all these tracks you've been talking about going to go up and see the Kevins over there at Rocket. Also, thoughts and prayers to everybody up in Lamar County and Hunt County up there that got damaged by the tornadoes right over there, really close to Rocket. So thoughts and prayers to those and some of our friends up in Oklahoma that are having issues with the tornadoes. But, if you're a road trip, go to Rocket, go to Arklatex now, go see what's going on over there. Maybe hit up a little bit of Boot Hill, but just way more racetracks than time. That's what we have our friends at Race on Texas for, to sit around and watch it when we can't make it.
Yeah, gotta get us a big old truck and just do a road trip. I mean, put Revved Up on the side of the thing and everything, and just go from track to track. Just show up. I think that would be a really cool deal, kind of like college game day. Just show up. I mean, we ain't got a broadcast. We could need a generator and all that stuff.
I got the generator. We just need the truck.
Just show up. And do some #real race talk.
That'd be the fun part of it, huh?
That'd be good. But like we said, coming up next, I think the biggest race coming up next is the Texana Clash. And I think that's I think it's going to be the biggest clash of them all. And I think between the late models and factory stocks and everybody that's going to show up, I think that Owen's fixing to like this, blow it out of the park with that race.
I hope so. Going to be a challenge for me with as many cars as projected to show up. So that'll be. I mean, I'm even posted up. I'm taking the mobile command center down there so that I can be closer to the racetrack and not have to worry about staying at a roach coach. Because with the many people coming for the clash, those hotel rooms are few and far between, and the ones that are there are pricey for even a small town like Edna, Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's 2 hotels, and I think that they're going to be full. They are going to be full for that one as we get set for the clash. And man, I can't wait. I think that's going to be a big old deal. And
you're still not blowing Tony's phone up, are you?
What's that?
Have you been blowing Tony's phone up?
Tony who? Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to go watch. I'm going to go watch you guys. I'm going to just check it out and just sit back and watch the races. Be a fan.
That's unlike you.
Dollar beer. I'm sure there's going to be dollar beer for that race. I think that's what I'll do.
Mm-hmm. That's unlike you, but I mean,
I'll sit there and watch you. I'll sit there and watch you and heckle you.
Heckle me, and then you'll be like, give me that damn mic. Let me show you how it's done.
No. I ain't doing that. I'll just sit there and sit with my friends. I got a lot of friends over there that want to hang out and watch a race. That's what I'm going to do.
You could bring a. Don't forget, if you're coming to Texana, don't forget to bring a lawn chair. While they have brand new grandstands there at Texana, they do have a section where you can bring your own chair and sit at the top of the hill and kind of sit in between the grandstands there. So lots of cool stuff. If you ever been to Texana, this is the time to get down there for the clash. You'll see people that you hadn't seen in a while. I mean, like I said, I even finally got to meet old Whoop Clark in person because he actually went down.
Sorry to hear that.
He went down to a race at Texana and I got to actually meet him in person instead of just talking to him over Facebook. And he had a good time. Says first time he's been there, and he's right. It was about 2 hours from just about everywhere. Right at a good little drive. Got done at a decent hour. So I'm anticipating the same thing now. With that many cars, it's going to be hard to get done at 10 o'clock like normal, 9:45, 10 o'clock. But Owen likes to run an efficient show, so it shouldn't be. I'm not anticipating it being one of them 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning shows by no means. Yeah,
no, I don't think so. I think everything is going to be nice and smooth, and they'll click that thing off because Owen. So what you think? I mean, with the late models, I mean, I think one of the things that I thought was so cool with the late model series that Owen has built up, and that's the influence of Owen Pittman. I mean, to see that many late models at 37 both nights, that right there. I mean, that's how you do it. I mean, that's the real shit right there, in my opinion.
I mean, he found a way to make it happen. I mean, that's for sure. That's what you want to see with a freshly minted racing program there with the All-Star Crate late models. But they, I mean, you know, there wasn't that many in Edna when they tried to debut it a couple of weeks ago. But man, they sure showed up in droves there at I-37. Should be just as many of them, if not a tick more, when they go back to Edna for the Clash, and then that big shootout there in Corpus there for thanks you're going to get Western. Did you notice Workman dropping in the Western there a couple of times here?
Yeah,
Shout out to Chris Workman. We talked about him with Ray last week, but you know, Workman has done a really good job as the voice of I-37 down there, and he's although may need to teach him the fine art of hiding the remote or hiding the microphone when somebody comes up and talks to him a little bit. Might need to teach him that one, but yeah, other than that, he's doing a great job over there.
Hey, I am not one to critique anything.
We've all left hot mics open before.
That is a hard job right there, and that dude does a great job.
He does a great job down there.
I mean, he really does. I mean, to jump into that, and man, I mean, obviously everything that he's dealt with. I mean, I think that's a great story, and he does a good job. I mean that. It's harder than you people think. I mean, it's one thing when people are like, "Fucking announcer sucks." I'm like, okay,
all right, yeah.
You want to try it?
Go for it.
You come on up here. You try it. You try this.
And
right?
You know, and the promoter will probably either say "come on" or "sit down," one of the two.
And the whole thing is, I think one of the things that we always talk about, when it's like grooming the racers. We need to groom some announcers because at some point, Bobby and I are going to die off.
We've been doing this a long time.
A way long time. And I mean, all the guys, Milton, he's older than we are. At some point, you're going to need other people to do this. And that's why I think for some of the young people that want to be a part of racing, learn that craft. Learn how to do that.
It's weird. I never thought I'd be doing it, and here I am doing it for almost 20 years now. So
Dave Moody will show us all how to do it.
That's right.
In January, 150.
I need to go sign up for that. I got the thing saved on my phone, but have you signed up for it already?
Hell yeah, man! I was the first one. Moody was like, "Why are you signing up?" I'm like,
"Why not?
You're teaching. $159. You're gonna learn how to be a race announcer." It's a lot more to it than just talking on that mic.
It's a lot more to it than talking about it.
It's a lot more to it than talking on that mic.
If you don't think so, listen to the show with Dave Moody that he did with us.
Yeah.
Dave Moody was able to grace us with about 30 minutes of his time one night.
That's right.
And it was time well spent. We appreciated all that and then some. So.
And it's like a lot of folks ask me, because I do. I'm like, maybe I'm done with this. Why do you want to walk away? I'm like, because to me, it's like the main reason that I miss racing the car, I miss being on the grid. For me, the hard part of being a race announcer is all the stuff the week before. I got to prepare. I got to do all this. I got to research. That's the hard part.
Guess I need. I'll sign up for that tonight.
You should.
I mean, I have the permission from the better half to do it. So.
It doesn't
I
matter
just hadn't pulled the trigger yet.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what she says. Say, I'm doing it.
Yeah, well, I tried that before too, and
I got to do it. Going to the hotline. We're talking about a dude, one of my men from out there in the Alabama area, Mobile, Alabama. This guy right here, one of my favorite people. He's family. Hell, he invited me to his wedding, for crying out loud. That's how we are now. I guarantee you, I'll be the only Mexican at his wedding. My man, Jonathan Langham. JL, how we doing, man?
How's it going, brother, man?
So
wait, are you DJing the wedding? Or are you going to be the reverend at the wedding? Or are you just going?
I don't know. What am I doing, Jonathan?
Hell, you Mexican, you bringing tamales, right?
There it is right there. There it is right there.
That's bootlegging if he brings them across the Mississippi, though.
There it is right there.
It's all right. We'll make do with it. We'll get it in here.
Oh, shit. Langham, tell me about this car that you have put yourself into, man. What a freaking hot rod you got, man.
Man, I tell you what, it's unreal. This thing, it is very, very nice piece, and we've been just me and Nathan has just been fortunate as hell with it so far. And we ran Mobile, shook it down just to get some laps in it before we went to North Carolina to North Wilkesboro in it. And we had a decent run up there, had a little bit of hiccups. Foam stopped up the fuel line. The first night we was a top 5 contender up there. And we came back home and we took it to Pensacola. We broke the track record, won, came to Mobile last race. Didn't have the setup. Well, had the setup where we needed it. Just we was only able to buy that one tire, so it got my rollout and all out of whack. So car wasn't great for the beginning of the run. Ended up making the best of it and pulling that one off, and went to Montgomery this weekend, a track that I love deeply. I've got a sweet spot for that place up there. It's one of them tracks that I fell in love with the first 5 laps I ran it last year, the first time I went up there. And we've been looking forward to getting up there to run up there, and we was able to qualified second. Only was able to get a 10-minute practice in, and that was our group qualifying. So we started third after the invert, and took the lead on about, I think, lap 2 or 3 or so. And we had a real good piece up there and was able to hold off for a win up there. So I just know it's a matter of time before the streak ends and the luck runs out. But right now I'm having these last 3 races, or really going back to August, I guess. I think when we went to North Wilkesboro and ran. It's been a unbelievable last 2 or 3 months for me. And I can't thank everyone enough that helped me along the way with this thing.
John, is that a new build, or is that one that you got in rehab?
It's a rehab. It was a weird deal how it all came about. You know, this was the Alexander car that he got me to bring back from Houston and wanted me to work on for him to get it dialed in. And then once I got it all the way back to Alabama from over there in Texas, I was like, I can't fit in this thing without cutting the seat cradle and moving some stuff. And so we put my dad in it. He ran it a little. He ran it a race or 2, and then me and Nathan decided we wanted to try to get it for a donor car for our new car that we've been building. And we was going to use the motor and transmission out of it. I'm glad we didn't decide to strip it. And we went, got it swapped over so I could fit in it and everything, and done a little bit of work to it. Not nothing major. So it's been a great car so far for us.
Yeah, no doubt. So Langham, let's talk about going to run Bristol. I mean, the one thing is, you get out there, you get to race on that track, you nail a top 10 in that car. Just talk about that experience. I mean, for all of us, I mean, it's one of those things to where you want to talk about something to where, as a local racer, you know, it's just guys growing up doing this stuff, to get to race there, my man. How freaking cool was that shit?
Oh, it was a blast. That, and we knew we was going in there with a butter knife compared to them.
Yeah.
And that's what my dad. He didn't get to go. He had to work and everything, so he wasn't able to go. It was me, Nathan, and my mom and my fiance, and
Nice.
Bo McCraney and his wife that I run the Outlaw for occasionally. We went up there and just made a fun trip out of it. Took a race car with us along the way, and it's just then Dad said, look, son, said just go up there, have fun. He said, you're doing something that nobody else down here is even doing.
Amen.
He said, you're going to fulfill a dream that you want to do. He said, you go have fun and you do the best you can do. And that meant the world to me. I had fun up there. I just brought the car back in one piece, got a top 10 out of it. So we enjoyed it, got to sightsee some, went to the Days of Thunder barn. So it was pretty awesome.
I love it.
I bet you were just shitting in high cotton when you saw that Days of Thunder barn. You were sitting there. I'm Rowdy Burns. That's what got you motivated at Bristol, isn't it? Or what? Did you see the barn first and then went to Bristol, or was it vice versa?
Well, we went to it was North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, at where we raced, and so when we was getting ready to head back Thursday, I was like, let's see how far the Days of Thunder barn is from here. And it was like 45 minutes out of the way. I was like, oh, hell no, we're going by there. You know,
Yeah, that's right.
I'll never probably get back up here again. So we pulled in there, and I parked the car and trailer in front of the barn so I could get a picture with the car and the barn in the background. So that was pretty kick-ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what'd you think of Wilkesboro, man? Obviously, I got to see it before they went in and did all this new stuff they've got going on with it, with the revival and stuff. It's crazy how that you just roll up in a couple of trailer park front yards to get to the parking lot in North Wilkesboro. But man, that track is special, and there's a lot of cool shit happening up there right now.
Yeah, it is. It's very awesome to see that they're going to bring the All-Star to it. You know,
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking fantastic in my opinion. And but yeah, like you said, you go through just this little podunk little town, you know, and all of a sudden there's a friggin' fabulous facility sitting there in just the middle of God's country, you know. And you roll through that gate and you're like, holy shit. And you come across the track to park, and it's just you get all these thoughts and everything in your head of just so many, all the greats, you know, anybody in NASCAR that was ever somebody or nobody, period, was on that track.
No.
And then you get to pull out there and you get to, you know that dude, I'm doing something that fucking Davey Allison, Bobby Allison, Richard Petty, Jeff Gordon, you know, Earnhardt Jr., everybody. I'm on a track that was written off, that was never going to be again.
Yeah.
And here we are 20 years late, 20 plus years later, it's coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very cool. I'm glad to see it taking back off, and looking forward to seeing the All-Stars run there. Hoping like hell that they put the street stocks on for something up there next year, because I definitely would go back.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. So let's talk about that. I mean, obviously we got the race coming up in Mobile this weekend. Speaking of old tracks that are getting a race again, I mean, you guys, I mean, you're my family up there. I'm going to your wedding next weekend, by the way. So, I mean, how cool is that? You know, that we got all these old tracks that are coming back, and kind of feels like home again, doesn't it, brother?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. You know, there was a lot of things that that had to take place and take shape for Gina and Bo and Mason and the whole group of y'all. You know,
Yep.
you, Todd, just everybody. What the Davidson, what Chris and Greg's doing for the track, just everything. You know, it can't be one person. You know, and
Right.
There's a lot of grief that Gina gets, and hell, I give her grief. You know, that's you're gonna get if you're in the racing world, especially being a promoter or owner, you're gonna catch shit. There's
right.
no golden road paved for you.
That's right.
You know, and it's amazing. I love being able to be back at my home track. Hell, I think we've been able to win a race the last 2 seasons. It's been back going now.
Yep.
Me, so, and that's something for a little while, you know, there was a bunch of doubts and not only my head or Dad's head, but just everybody in the Mobile, Alabama local community was thinking, will we ever get a chance to run Mobile again, much less get a win, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that's been pretty damn special, and Mobile will always be my home track, regardless if it's sitting in vines or still getting rubber laid down on it.
That's right. That's right. So what's the plan rest of the year? Obviously, we race this weekend, but Snowball, man, you got to take that rocket ship to Pensacola. I mean, you already broke the track record. So what's left for you this year with that race car?
Mobile this weekend. Get it back dialed in, hopefully, for Mobile this weekend. See if we can't try to pick up another win, hopefully, to close out the season at Mobile. And and hell, hopefully my little brother will be able to. Hopefully, we've got enough sportsmen and all there that him and Little D can have a battle for the championship. Which I think they've got a 9-point separation between the two of them. So I'd love for it to be enough cars that I could win, Maddox could finish second, and get enough points in between them, him and the McDonald's, to get his first championship, and me get the final win of the season at Mobile. That would be friggin' fucking phenomenal, you know. I'd love that.
So what about that dude? I mean, that kid right there. I mean, he gets out there, drives his ass off. I mean, I know that you guys got the rivalry there. I mean, it's a family thing. You and Daddy, man, that dude, he's a wheelman right there. That skinny ass young kid.
Man, we gave him hell. You know, I gave him hell for, man, first year and a half of him running that car.
Mm-hmm.
And finally it lit a fire under his ass at Pensacola one night. We was coming back from the drivers' meeting, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And my dad told him, said, look, he said, I'm over the you know what footing. He said, you're either going to drive the son of a bitch or I'm going to put somebody back in it that I know can sit in the son of a bitch right now and go win races.
Love that.
He said, if you don't want to drive it, he said, you can get your ass in that car that your brother's racing, and I'll put your brother back in this one. He said, he'll show you that son of a bitch can win races. And it lit a fire under his ass. And I think he went out that night and finished second. And I ended up fourth or what. Or hell, he may have won. He may have won and got his first win that night. Yeah. But I know it was either that night or the week after he got his first win over there at Five Flags in that car. Ever since then, it's been a motivational boost for him, and he has really took off in his own.
Yeah.
And I love it. I give him hell. We've got a rivalry. That's like after the last race at Pensacola. He said, damn it. He said, now you're ahead of me again. In the win. As long as I've been racing, hell, I've only got a handful of wins at Pensacola.
Yeah.
And all. and that's our grudge right now. He said, now I got to win the Derby so I can tie you back up.
There it is.
Oh.
That's shit talking right there.
The gauntlet has been laid down.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt. JL, thank you, my man. I look forward to seeing you this weekend, my friend. Let's talk in Victory Lane, my man. Let's do it again.
Man, I'd love it. I'd absolutely love it. And then we can party a little bit afterwards, and then we'll carry that party on over until next Saturday.
We're gonna get you married. Getting you married, my man. How about that? You ready to become an honest man? How's that going to work out?
I don't know how well it's going to plan out. Honest man. I'm a Langham, and I've got racing.
That's right.
He's still screwed either way.
That's right. That's right. I'm more excited about the wedding than the race. So yeah, it's going to be a good thing. Going to be a good thing, man. Thanks for taking the time, dude. We'll see you this weekend. Go get it, man.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all for having me on.
You bet. Take care.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
You bet. Dude, I'm going to that wedding.
That's your first Alabama wedding, isn't it?
I should fit in perfect with that.
Yeah, you might. What are you going to wear? You going to wear your black jacket like normal?
Yeah, probably. I got a gray one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll wear this. Maybe I'll wear a Texas shirt.
I could say you ain't got a hair on your ass if you don't walk up in there with a UT shirt on.
I'll wear a Texas shirt. Yeah, we'll see what happens. That's going to be fun. But man, what a job he has done with that race car. I mean, he is. I thought that's what that car was, but man, he is so. That car. I told him this, and he probably doesn't remember. To me, that car with that 51 Beaver Stelzing. Every time I see that car, I'm like,
he won't know who that is.
Oh, I know he doesn't know who that is, but it's like, damn, look at that thing. It is hooked up.
It's a good looking car. I didn't realize that was the old Alexander car though. So,
yeah, it's a good one.
Alan's got cars all over the place, or had cars all over the place.
Yeah,
he had a good one going at I-37 too there for a while.
Yeah, they had a good already. Yeah. I'm ready. Let's go. Ready for the wedding. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Come in whatever you want. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
I'll be there on Wednesday. Yeah. I never told them that I was a officiant.
That's right.
You see me over there?
It's been a year since we've been to that wedding.
No, Butch Havelka. My man.
Been a year since we've been to that one.
Isn't it funny how time I was looking back at some of the Facebook stuff, and it's like, you remember the pandemic? Remember, we were all locked in, couldn't do shit. I mean, there was nothing going on. It is so weird. We always did this. I mean, we did this kind of from
We did a show for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we never stopped doing it.
Yeah. It always, that's how we learned how to Zoom. That's how we learned. I mean, for you to be south and me being north. I mean, that's kind of how we figured that out. But man, it's so funny how time flies by real fast.
Yeah, coming up on. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's coming up on 2.5 years now, almost 3 years. March will be 3 years since the shit hit the fan. So,
remember the day the world closed down?
Yeah, March the 17th, 2020.
NBA.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we can't play. It's like, okay, that's the end of the world.
I remember going to the Derby. Everybody's like, why are you going to the Derby? There's a pandemic. Well, because there's a race I want to go see. That's why.
Yeah, nobody there gave a shit.
Yeah.
That year, nobody cared. And, I mean, I totally get it. But I will say that racing was the one thing that, and they did it smart. I mean, everybody did it smartly. Being able to try to come back. So it was a good thing. It was a good time.
I had a good time.
Yep. Good stuff. Thanks to Jonathan Langham. Great conversation right there from my man. Always love talking to that dude. He's one of the good guys. I mean, that's one of the guys that keeps it real. Always keeps it real.
Well, I mean, somebody down there's got to.
That's right. That's right. All right. To the hotline for the final time tonight, right here from Texas. And this is fun because now we get to talk to one of the really cool dudes. My man, Barry Braun, he's got the duel in the desert coming up. Double B, how we doing, my man?
Well, just getting used to the climate out here, but no, we're good. This is good. Came in early, been doing some work to the facility, and yeah, we're ready. I mean, this is something never been done before. 25th year of the Duel in the Desert, purse of over $600,000, and awesome fields in all the cars, all the classes, and it's going to be a show. So we're excited about it.
Yeah. So Barry, how big is this? I mean, the one thing that you do, you're an innovator. I mean, you are the one that really makes all this stuff happen. I mean, to do this in Sonoya, man, you are just adding to the checklist here of just huge events that you're making happen.
Yeah, this one was inherited. Technically, Duel in the Desert was one of our big first big events in 2020. And so ever since we've started, quote unquote,
right,
doing events or promoting events, we've been pandemic promoters.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know any different. It's been just a wild roller coaster ride. And this is the first event that we came out of the gates with. I had broadcast it for 8 years before that. And we made a deal with the track, took over the event, but we took it over, right at the end of 20 when things were, there wasn't a lot of racing going on,
right.
Period. California was shut down for the most part, and it was just kind of when we're coming out of the pandemic, and ridiculous entries, 460 cars. For that event. And I'll be the first to tell you, and I've said this in other podcasts and interviews, but that was too much. It was way too much.
Yeah.
And this track, it's in the middle of the desert, and it doesn't run all year.
Right.
So quite honestly, it was really in retrospect, it was a good way to start. It was a good way to, really learn the ropes of what this is all about, even though we got our butts kicked, and really not in a bad way, not in a good way.
Yeah.
Just in kind of a way that it's like, oh, wow, this is really what this is all about. Yeah. And it has helped, obviously that led to the Bristol Dirt Nationals, which then led to Texas Motor Speedway, which led to Charlotte, which led to North Wilkesboro, and a number of other events. And now that, so we're coming up on a 2-year anniversary of doing events, and we've done a lot of stuff in 2 years, more than I probably should have ever done. But again, in retrospect, I'm never going to look back and say, I shouldn't have done that. Really, it's got my ass kicked, and to know that and to accept it and to learn from it is the key. That's the key. Mm-hmm. And I feel like going into this event is the most complete our organization's ever been, from the top on down. Which to me, I know a lot of fans and media might look at an event at car count or revenue, or I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at, okay, what can we do to build sustainable events,
right,
and a sustainable company going into the future.
Mm-hmm.
And my win is looking at it's like, okay, we hit all of our marks. I feel confident that we did the best event that we possibly could with the resources that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my win. That is my win. It's cool to do big events. It's cool to do big payouts, but there's also more of a victory in knowing that you did it the right way.
That's right.
And you're able to do it the way that you want. It's hard. It's really hard to explain.
No doubt.
When many might look at the bottom line and how much money you making and not, that's one thing I definitely learned right away in this whole process, in this whole production or promotion process is, you're gonna make some investment into what you're doing.
Yep.
And if you don't, you're a fool.
That's right.
You need to build that fan base. You need to build your driver base. You need to build trust. There's a lot of damn mistakes we made, and now I feel like we're finally really, figuring out this is how, it needs to be done. Which has led to our next project at Pennsboro Speedway in 2024. I can give you, just from my perspective, North Wilkesboro and doing it this year was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was way too fast.
I bet.
It was way too fast.
I bet.
And I can't put myself or my team through that meat grinder no more.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when we were afforded this opportunity at Pennsboro. And I just told them, I'll do it, but I'm giving myself some time.
Mm-hmm.
We want some time. We want to enjoy it. We want the fans to enjoy it with us. We want them to see the process. We want to, just really reflect on what we're doing now instead of just going at warp speed.
Right.
And that's kind of like the next step in our process. And I think, you'll see that in 2023 as we start start digging up Pennsboro and start getting to work. We're gonna document that process every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want the fans to see that and see this is the kind of stuff we're doing. It's cool.
Yeah.
But there's also, I kind of look at it like these reality shows, say a Gold Rush or something like that.
Yeah.
And some of this stuff might be, might be Hollywood now and whatnot, but there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of, pain and agony and, getting the job done on time and, hitting deadlines and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's things that we deal with that on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all puppies and kittens. There's a lot of hard work. Showing up to Vegas and there was a communication error and we had to move our pits.
Mm-hmm.
Literally something that we were planning for 9 months, a brand new pit area in turns 3 and 4. We had to bring out the old playbook and go back to the other side of the track.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
and on the fly in one day, turn that around. Which that's the stuff I'm very proud of our team because they're able to do things like that. Or how about this morning? It's windy out here, the desert. Yeah, we spent a day and a half putting banners up around the track. Guess what?
They all blew
down. They had to all come. They had to all come down.
Oh shit!
So it's things like that make you realize what your team's made of, and it's not just I'm putting on big races and we're paying a lot of money and
right.
Stuff that people see on the surface. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into it. And I think and more so than anything, what I've come to appreciate is the effort our team puts in. They're just as fired up as I am, very passionate about what we do. And I want them to be proud of what we're doing more so than, the amount of money we're making and why and things like that. That's cool. I always have felt like if you do a good job, you'll make your money.
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like we got a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what we're doing here in the desert. We're kicking it off here Wednesday night with practice. It's actually going to rain here tomorrow. How about that, guys?
How about that?
It's going to rain
Do it to
in
it.
the desert.
One more obstacle, my man. Nothing to it.
Nah, it's all good. The track could use a little water.
That's good.
So we're we'll kick it off Thursday with we got our Northern Sport modifieds, our stock cars modifieds, and then of course XR Super Series late models with full shows every night. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we're kicking it off. I think this is kind of the sleeping giant right now, is the big 25,000 to win stock car race next on Saturday night, which is going to be a 100-lapper. It's going to be the final event of the night. These guys have never raced 100 laps in their life.
Wow.
Most of their features are 25 laps.
That's right.
But 25,000 to win, but more importantly, 2,500 to start.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's life-changing money for most of these guys to race for, and we're going to put on a show. I mean, I'm sure you guys know stock cars don't have a problem putting on a show.
That's right.
Yeah.
Even down in Texas. Well, you guys call my stocks or something like that.
Yeah, that's what we
So,
that's right.
It's a different name variant for what you guys are doing. But
Yep.
Nonetheless, regardless of where they are in the United States, they're putting on great shows right now. In the duel last year, we had a photo finish at finish line with Dallin Murney and Zane DeVilbiss, and two of the top guys in the country. Yep. And they're both going to be back here, and they're going for 25,000 on Saturday night. So, and to top that off, 40,000 to win XR Super Series late models. And there is I think 8 or 9 guys that can win double, meaning it's called the triple double. They raced at Charlotte Motor Speedway in May, at Kokomo Speedway in September. And because of it, there's no gimmicks. All they had to do was just show up and race. Mm-hmm. They get to race for double on the Saturday night of the Duel in the Desert, meaning that 40,000 could turn into 80,000.
Wow.
Just by showing up. So last year, Bobby Pierce, it was 50,000 to win last year. He doubled up, made $100,000 for winning the Saturday night of the Duel in the Desert. So we'll see if we can do it again. Good chance. I mean, we got guys like Jonathan Davenport and some of these heavy hitters, Tim McCready, that could easily win a race and double their prize money.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
It's going to be a big week here in Vegas. And of course, if you can't make it out to here, it is not cheap to go to Vegas as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
That's guys, I'll tell you this. One of the things that really makes me proud of this year more so than anything. Obviously, inflation's killing people right now.
Yes, sir.
It's expensive. We had to cut back on our crew here because travel is out of control expensive right now.
That's right.
And to get 225 entries in all the divisions, to me, is a huge win. I was expecting 150 entries.
Wow.
So for people to make the decision to come race with us in Las Vegas, to me, that's huge. It really is. I hope, we can give them the best time possible because, man, right now it is just a tough ask of these guys, and especially a lot of the grassroots guys. It's a tough ask to pay, the amount of money for fuel
to just show up,
and hotel room.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I know what it's done to us and our bottom line. I can't imagine if you take 225 racers at an average of, man, if you got all their crews and stuff like that, that's
a lot of people.
$3,000 to $5,000.
That's right.
So
easily, yeah.
I can't say it enough. I mean, we really do appreciate it. Their support. We got a handful of guys from Texas even coming and racing with us this week, and that's a pull. That is a pull. That costs some serious gas money. So them coming, their sponsors, a lot of these local folks that take care of them when they're racing weekly shows to, pitching in just to get them to Vegas.
Yep.
I mean, it's huge. So we can't say enough. And again, I'm going to go back and say that's the win I see for us. Getting support like that, putting on badass races, and then hopefully we can continue to grow it and, go from there.
That's right.
So, Barry, I got a question before we cut you loose in terms of it. When you come up with the idea, has it been the execution or is it your own? Like, we talked to a lot of promoters all over the country, and it's like they have this one idea that they want, and then if it doesn't go according to plan, their plan, sometimes they freak out a little bit about it, but yet to the outside world, everything looks like it's working perfectly. Is your promoting style, do you get too hard on yourself on something like that, or is it the end result, the fans and the racers having a better time than if it doesn't quite go perfect for you?
So it's kind of morphed over time, you learn that by experience. So I probably should worry a little bit more than I do. My personality just is like, wing it, and we're going to make this happen. I don't lack confidence whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you have to realize that there's a point where you can't become overconfident and cocky, and then you're going to get smacked up. I mean, you're going to make mistakes at that point. So I've tried to find more so of a middle ground, and I'll tell you the reason why it's been reined in a lot, not only the financial side, but I've got a crew here that keeps me really grounded. Mm-hmm. And they will look at us or look at me and say, hey, here's what I think. I've become more cognizant of that in the last year than I ever have. Because here's the inside scoop. Not all my harebrained ideas work. And that's okay. It really is okay. But now, again, with experience and understanding, how markets work, how people work, how psychology works, a number of other things, you find a much, much more refined way of going about things. So when I go into next year and we bring back the XR Super Series in 2023, yes, I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to do it the same. Yeah, we're going to have big paying races, but we're also, and this is kind of where we built our niche, is to work with the other events and the sanctioning bodies in the series to make sure that we make it a better overall package for everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come in at first, you're like, I'm a renegade. I've got this figured out. I've got a whole new outlook on things. I've got a different business model, which we do,
sure,
because of streaming, and it has given us a different angle. But still, that doesn't mean that I couldn't, drive this thing off the cliff real easy. And you still have to ground yourself with, just really solid intel and decision making.
Yep.
And respect, and a number of things that you would not realize when you first start. I mean, I could have taken 2021 Bristol and turned into an absolute madman after that.
Yeah.
Just
Mm-hmm.
because it was a raging success and could have easily got to my head.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't let that happen to an extent. Did some things probably should have done.
All right.
But it also, and then going back to Bristol in 2022 and learning a lot more. Okay, great. Now we got our ass kicked and we lost a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be the first to tell you, we didn't, we for what we did in 2021, we gave back in 2022.
Yeah.
That's not smart.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not smart. So don't get too overconfident. And that's why when I go to Pennsboro Speedway in 2024, as an individual, I will take more pride in that track being revived and coming back than anything else I've ever done. Mm-hmm. And it's nothing against a Bristol or a North Wilkesboro or any other projects we've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I'm going to do it the right way based on the experience that I've acquired over the past couple of years.
That's
no
right.
more, no less.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, no doubt. Barry, I do want to ask you before I cut you loose. I mean, because I am a lifelong streamer. I was doing this way back before people knew what streaming was. And I think that it's so important, like you with XR, and to have to go in there and team up with Racing America and all the different ones. I mean, it's so important at this point for short track racing, whether it's dirt or asphalt, to team up. I mean, to let's do this together. I mean, we got to save this stuff. you have been the leader in tying this all together for all of us.
I think what you'll see, so the streaming market, to get to that quick, it's going to struggle in the next year or two. And a lot of it is because my best phrase, or the best way to say it, there's too much inventory. It has created a habit where folks can, whether it's a subscription based or a pay-per-view, but mainly subscription based, you're getting a number of races, a huge amount. And let me preface this.
Sure.
Nobody's doing anything wrong. Nobody's doing anything that isn't right. It's a new market. It's a new way of doing business.
Right.
And because of it, we're adapting. So when you have a number of races, and it really, you can't define by numbers or analytics or anything like that, but you can tell it's had a hurt.
Sure.
On weekly racetracks. It's had a hurt on special events. It's put a hurt because by creating that mentality that I can watch, a number of tracks, I can watch 40, 50 different races in a weekend for the price of a hot dog.
Yeah.
Well, as a race fan, what are you going to do? Okay, you're tight on money. Inflation's high. Expenses are up. And you just want to enjoy your favorite sport. You can't blame the fan that they've been gifted this opportunity to watch races at a discount. If they go to their local racetrack and they start thinking about how much am I going to spend in gas, tickets, food, we're a couple $100 probably into it when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
People can't afford that. So what it's done is it's created a habit. People decide to stay home, unfortunately, and they're not out and attending these races like they used to. So how do we fire back from that? And I think that's where you'll see some businesses come and go in the next couple of years, because there's a war brewing right now with broadcast rights, and that's reality, and that's what we're going to see and what we're going to deal with. Because as a track promoter, knowing that, and I've got to bring in X amount of revenue to pay the bills and whatnot, and they're not making it.
Right.
Well, that's a line item. That's a revenue piece for the promoter that they've got to see, either increased, or there has to be a number there that makes it worth, them doing what they do.
That's right.
But the bottom line is, yes, we do need to work together. Check egos at the door, whatever. You want whatever phrase you want to say, because those kind of partnerships are what's going to save the industry and save it for, the future. However it pans out in the next couple of years.
Yep, that's right.
I know that's opened up really awesome opportunities for us as promoters, because we're open to say, hey, we don't need to make all of the money. Okay. In that instance, in Racing America's instance, man, they know way more about asphalt racing than I'm ever going to know.
Sure.
So it's right by the fans that we bring in people that know what they're talking about, that know how to shoot it, that know the intricacies of that industry, because, man, we're just a bunch of dirt track guys that have walked into this scenario and we want to do what's right by the fans. Well, sometimes that means, we're going to go back to this, you make that investment.
Yeah.
Make that investment into the fans, into the product, because down the line, those fans are going to remember that. Now, having some foresight to understand that is a little bit different than the normal promoter, because they're going to try and walk into this doing the line item thing, trying to make that money.
Right.
Like right now, because I got to pay the bills. We have the ability, because, we have subscribers, and it subsidizes some of these events and some of these series where we can make some decisions like that and say, no, we're not looking at today. We're looking at way down the line. We're looking at the potential of having another event, and these people come back and say, man, that broadcast on XR was awesome.
Yep.
And it was great that we had the option to either buy it by the day or buy it by, on a subscription or whatever, is available to them. Mm-hmm. And that to me is the key. Hopefully our market can continue to do more things like that. I know that, we're looking at things to help Racing America, whether we bring some of our staff in, share some intel, some things that we've done, vice versa. Mm-hmm. And it's a really cool relationship that we've been able to put together. We're not worried about taking each other's business. We enjoy working with each other. We, that camaraderie. And I'll tell you this to kind of end this conversation.
Yeah.
More so than anything, you have to enjoy what you're doing.
That's right.
Because if you don't, you shouldn't have been doing it in the first place.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And as we continue to grow and work in this industry, more so than anything, that's what we, as a company and as individuals, that's what we enjoy, is what we're doing. We got into it as race fans in the first place. We don't want it to feel like a job. Nobody wants it to feel like a job. We just want to enjoy it for what it is. We want to do positive things that impact the industry. And knowing that, we've done those things or accomplished those things, you walk with your head high and, you go to the next thing. That's what's super cool about it. Hopefully in time we can, as an industry, we can enjoy more of that. We can enjoy more of each other's time. And I mean, if we've learned anything these last couple of years, I mean, life is short, and it can hit you hard real fast.
Yeah, it can.
And that's, we don't want any of that. We don't want any of those bad vibes. We want to continue to enjoy each other's time and enjoy these events. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you guys, man, this is the most, knock on wood, but this is the most complete that I've felt about this event so far in the 3 years that we've done it. I'm going to try to enjoy the races this week.
Yeah, man.
Usually I'm banging away on some broadcast stuff, or I don't know, cleaning a toilet or something, right? I got out here early enough that hopefully I can enjoy some of this stuff. I want to go shake somebody's hand in victory lane.
Yeah.
So, just stuff like that. And again, that's where, coming in early, working on the place, getting stuff ready, we want to just sit back and enjoy it for what it is and take it all in. And I think we start doing more of that in this world, we'll make a positive impact together, and we're going to grow it. It's obvious that there's enough participants and racers that want to, come to big events and enjoy, good shows.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just keep rolling that way and making shows for them to come to.
That's right. Lastly, Barry, Duel in the Desert. Tell folks where to go get it. I mean, because I know for the Texans and all of our Southern folks, we can't get over there. Tell folks where they can catch that and check in and be a part of that this weekend.
So you can go to racexr.plus, racexr.plus, Plus, and of course it's on all the different platforms, Android, Apple TV, Roku, Fire, all that good stuff. Get your monthly pass and watch the entire event, all 3 days this month. And how about this? If you're really sneaky about it and you kind of count the days and you're looking at that 30 days, so if you go and pick it up, there on practice night on the 9th, okay, November 9th, now check this out. You can cancel right away. I don't want you to do that, but you can cancel right away. And you got that account till, December 9.
Yeah.
Well, we also got a race in Florida, XR Super Series, December 2 and 3 at the All-Tech Raceway in Lake City, Florida, which is the season ender. So if you think about it this way, $39.99, you get 3 days of Duel in the Desert, you get 2 days at All-Tech, you get 5 nights of racing.
Love it.
For $40, and you don't got to move off your couch.
That's right.
You can go make your own. You can go make your own snacks. You can grab a couple, cold brews or whatever you need to do.
Ones, yeah.
And you can hang out with us. And I will say this: late models run first every night this week.
Nice.
Because we got a lot of folks out east that like to watch late models, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're in the Pacific time zone.
That's right.
Trust me, I've been trying to get used to the time change, and waking up at 3 in the morning isn't the funnest.
Yeah, I bet.
So Pacific time zone, we should be rolling on Eastern time about 10 o'clock for the main events for the late models. And we got, like I said, we got a lot of fans back out east that, watch the super late models. So we want to get them taken care of first, get them done, and then roll into some of our support classes. But you're going to want to get a little sleep. Saturday night. It's on. It is on. You got a big late model show, big stock car show, 100 laps. You might have to camp out with us for a couple hours and enjoy the duel in the desert. And again, it's on racexr.plus is where you're going to want to watch it.
Yep. Absolutely love it, my man. Barry, thank you for jumping on with us, dude. You, my friend, are my hero. I mean, because as a short track guy, I mean, the things that you have done, I don't care if it's dirt or pavement. I mean, it's guys like you that keep it real. And, man, just keep on, brother. Just keep on. Proud to know you, man.
We're going to give her hell. And if you really want to know who the real hero is,
that's right.
That's my wife.
Oh, I know that part.
She keeps it. She keeps it on the rails.
Yeah. All
right, man. You guys take care, and thanks for having me.
You bet, dude.
All right. Have a good one. Good luck.
Take care, Barry.
Yep. Bye-bye.
You bet. Barry Braun. Promoters,
pay attention.
We podcasting that.
Yeah, we're going to put that on its own.
We are podcasting that for you guys. That that is a 101 right there. The intensity in this guy's voice. It's like, all right.
He said the word a couple of times, investment.
Mm-hmm.
And he also said that it's more about that, not always about the bottom line, which I think was a very refreshing, what's the word I'm looking for? Refreshing tale about from a promoter, right? Yeah. Everybody thinks promoters are so money hungry. Most of the ones that we know aren't very money hungry. They enjoy making money,
sure,
but they enjoy putting on good events too. And it sounds like Barry's part of that group too.
And the thing is with Barry, if you're not familiar with him, I mean, he really is the one, like what the whole North Wilkesboro thing. Yes, it's back and all this, but it was Barry Braun that went and sat in those grandstands and looked at that place and said, I want to do this. And I'm sure that Barry Braun, has plenty of money and has investors and everything, but this is just he's just a race guy. And he went in there and he wanted to make this happen. And that's what he's doing. And that's what he's done with XR. And that's why I wanted to ask him, because I know a lot of times with the streaming thing, he is the one that him and Racing America, when I saw XR in Racing America, and I was privy to some of those conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah. As somebody that saw North Wilkesboro a couple of years ago.
It's like, who's teaming up?
The fact that they actually are racing at North Wilkesboro still blows my mind. I still text you that every time I watch a race from North Wilkesboro. It's like unbelievable. I tell my wife all the time when she sits there and we pulled up to this little podunk, wore-out racetrack with buildings collapsing all around it, grandstands falling in on itself, the press box falling in on itself, driving through these little podunk county roads and little city roads, just pulling up in somebody's trailer park driveway to get to the parking lot of the racetrack. And she says, what the hell are you here for? Why are we chasing this? Like, because this is North Wilkesboro Speedway. This place once was badass. Well, once was badass before, is now badass now.
Well,
because if it wasn't Marcus Smith and them, with the help of the North Carolina State Legislature budget,
I mean,
but with the help of SMI, that place is coming back, and that place, it's already sold out. I mean, the only way you can watch the All-Star race now is going to be on TV. Probably one of the highest rated. It's going to be one of the highest rated All-Star races in a long time if they don't screw it up.
And it's a lot of push right there. And the one thing I want to talk about, I mean, obviously, talking to Joey Smith tonight, with 105, with everything they're doing, Jonathan Langham, with he's going to race at Mobile and everything that he's talking about. Barry Braun, the man that resurrected, in my opinion, North Wilkesboro.
Oh, yeah.
Just gave us 31 minutes to talk on our show about short track racing.
Yeah.
And the duel.
I wanted to talk to him more about it, but I wanted to know his promoting style more than anything.
And the thing was, he wasn't so much pushing the duel in the desert unless we asked about it. He was talking about short track racing. And that's what that dude is all about. That's what he's all about. And obviously, I mean, he has a lot of leverage and all that, but that right there is one of the coolest 30 minutes we've ever had on this show.
Yeah, one of the top 30 minutes we've had in a long time.
Absolutely. And it's guys like that promoters. Go back and listen to that. I mean, yes, you don't have the money that he does, but man, go dig into that brain.
Mm-hmm.
Go dig into that brain, because that's. I mean, he was you guys. He was you guys as a promoter way back when, before he resurrected North Wilkesboro. He was just a race fan.
That's right.
Just a race fan. Great program.
It's fun.
Astros. Anyway. Sorry.
Happy Veterans Day for the veterans out there coming up on Friday. So if you don't have the day off like some state workers do, go out and thank a veteran, because obviously if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the ability to go up and thank them for their day. So
that's right. Mobile, Saturday. Houston, Saturday. HMP. 105. 105 is going to be huge.
It's going to be a hell of a show. That's a lot of money.
Dude, 105 is going to... I think 105 might blow us all out of the water on
Maybe.
That one. Yeah, good stuff.
Clash in 2 weeks.
That's
Derby
right.
in 4 weeks.
That's right.
The Western Shootout down at the Clash is down at the Race Ranch in 5 weeks. Big money season is here. It's on fire. We'll cover it all right here.
Time to go racing. Thank you, Joey Smith. Thank you, Jonathan Langham. Thank you, Barry Braun. The music ran out. He's Bobby. I'm Rodney. We gone. We see you next Monday.